President Ron.
Thank you, Brian, and welcome. I have 2 minutes. You know, every time we've broken ground, as far as I know, on a facility, I've quoted Winston Churchill, and I don't want to break that tradition here today. The farther backward you can look, said Churchill, the farther forward you're likely to see. This is the kind of day when you do look both backward and forward. Backward with great thanks, and forward with great hope. We're here today to break ground on a new facility for the state of Georgia's only dental school, thanks to the good work and support of countless men and women. And I know that there are dozens, if not hundreds, of you who have played a role in getting us to where we are today. People who have labored on every aspect of this initiative, from property acquisition to public funding, private fundraising, facility planning, and on and on and on. And also people who are willing to pull up roots so that the Medical College of Georgia could expand. So today I want to thank our partners. Brian recognized many of you in his welcoming comments who have collaborated with us, supported us, and championed this cause. I thank the MCG community, thank members of my cabinet with whom I've been able to be privileged to work so closely these past 8.5 years. The faculty, staff, students for living our mission of better health every day. And also, I want to thank the former residents of Gilbert Manor, the community that was located on this site for nearly 70 years. While this facility has a very specific purpose related to oral health, it is, after all, the epicenter of dental education in Georgia. It will also stand as a monument to the collective effort of Georgians who believe in, work for, and support a shared goal. And that's where hope comes in. Hope is a wish, a heartfelt desire for a future good. Hope is not something that's generally associated with a scientific community like ours. I believe many of you do not want your health professional to say, "I hope this goes well." But they do. They do. We focus on science, we focus on cutting-edge research, our technical capacity, high-quality care, educating the next generation of health professionals. But hope is really why we build these buildings, why we choose to be part of the community that is the Medical College of Georgia. We hope for a future that is filled and characterized by better health. But we also know, that we have the knowledge and skills and resources to make that hope a reality. So thank you for celebrating with us as we begin construction on the state's, not just MCG, the state of Georgia's new home for dental education, dental research, and dental care. I thank you. And now it's my privilege to welcome Chancellor Errol Davis, my boss, to the podium. Errol.
Thank you very much, Dan, and good afternoon to you all. On behalf of the Board of Regents, I bring you greetings today as we officially break ground on a critical piece of infrastructure for the state of Georgia. This is an important day for Georgia and for our efforts in the university system to improve access to dental care for underserved Georgians. We will begin to address this goal, of course, by increasing the state's dental workforce. We do have in this state a critical shortage of dentists. We have 41.4 dentists per 100,000 citizens, and that's considerably less than the national ratio of 54.3 dentists per 100,000 citizens. As you know, the mission of the university system is threefold: research, teaching, and service. And this new facility will help us meet all three segments of this mission. If one measures the return on investment in this building, as the governor is fond of doing, the service mission, as we meet the healthcare needs of Georgians, will certainly be most paramount. We know from the data that once we enroll a student in dentistry school, we do a pretty good job of keeping them in Georgia to practice. In fact, 80 to 85% of MCG School of Dentistry graduates practice in Georgia. But in order to produce more dentists, we have to have the appropriate facilities, both in terms of size as well as in terms of technology. This new facility will be as good as an example of build it and they will come as we can possibly do. But more than just showing up, this building will result in build it and they will come and they will stay to practice in this state. It's not just through buildings, however, that we will also increase the dental workforce. Just last week, MCG announced that the School of Dentistry had received a 3-year, $1.5 million grant from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. This grant is going to be used by the school to increase the number of teaching sites, not only here but across Georgia, where dental students can learn. The grant will also provide loan forgiveness for those graduates who opt to practice in underserved areas. I mentioned this grant today just as an example of the innovative ways in which we are leveraging all available resources to accomplish our mission. And these two developments, construction of the new dentistry school and the application of this grant, will work hand in hand to the benefit of this state. Of course, we would not be here today without the support of numerous friends and partners. I do want to acknowledge yet again the City of Augusta, the Augusta Housing Authority, and the former residents of Gilbert Manor. Thanks to these organizations and these individuals, we now have the space for this new facility. This partnership has been essential in moving this project forward. As I look around, I see so many friends and supporters and people who have had impact on this project, and again, I'm not going to risk trying to name them because I'm sure I would leave out one or more of our more important friends. But I do want to emphasize and highlight the support of the Governor and the General Assembly. I do want to thank our fundraising partners in government and in the philanthropic sector for their strong support of this facility. And that's particularly so in these difficult and challenging economic times. I'm very proud that Georgia's elected leadership has once again looked past the problems of the moment and made a decision for the long-term good of this state and its citizens. This new dentistry school is a shining example of good leadership, good government, and private support, and we appreciate that support. So thus it gives me great pleasure to be able to introduce Governor Sonny Perdue. Governor, you have certainly had more than your share of leadership opportunities in the last year, and we certainly appreciate your sound stewardship of the state and its resources. And we appreciate you taking the long view and supporting this much needed and very critical facility. Without your support, we certainly would not be here today. So thank you on behalf of the system. It is both an honor and very fitting that you could be present today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Governor of the great state of Georgia, Governor Sonny Perdue.
Good afternoon. Wow, this is a wonderful crowd for a growing state, and I think many of you, and when you look at the numbers as the Chancellor shared with you about our per capita population of dentists in Georgia, part of that's because the denominator has grown so much, and it looks like even in this economic downturn we could wind up 2 decades in a row of almost 25% growth in Georgia. You think about that. How can a state with only one dental school keep up if we don't grow? And the very fact is that we need more dentists in all aspects. We've got an able-bodied dental caucus here in the legislature, and we're losing one of them, so some of you guys need to come in and fill in, right, Lee? You know, they need to come on and follow Charlie Norwood. He's going to Congress, so he's going to represent the dental community in Congress there. But it is Chancellor and Dr. Ron, and for all of the affiliates, the faculty, the staff, the students, everyone here, it is a wonderful day to be here. Mayor, what you and the Housing Authority and your team here in this community have done with securing, and this property is absolutely amazing. This is the key that enabled this to take place today, and you've got our gratitude for enabling in a wonderful venue and a medical complex that is going to be truly amazing to have this facility here. I'm excited for the students, and I know it's wonderful with the challenges of first year of dentistry school, and you're wondering about what does this have to do with dentistry. Having a first-class facility to learn all those things, and to have a facility where you can get the best technology for the future. Most of us know how important dental health is to our overall health. And it's just part of and parcel of how healthy we are as a citizenry. And we also are well aware of how much technology and how much change has been in dentistry over the last 10 or 20 years, and even less than that. And these students are bright. They're some of the best and brightest. They've got to have a facility in which we can teach them in the best and brightest way. So we're thankful for them. They'll have the cutting edge tools to train tomorrow's dentist and oral hygiene needs for our future in that way. And it's absolutely true. We think about dental schools primarily from a healthcare standpoint, and we should, because that's what it's all about. But I was in a groundbreaking earlier today in South Fulton County, where a bioscience company with cutting-edge research and cancer research and cancer products coming to make those products right here in Georgia with immunotherapy rather than chemotherapy, using our own cells to help defeat the cancer cells within our body, particularly specifically in the prostate cancer area. And I thought about what a wonderful thing that is. 550 jobs, $70 million investment. But I thought about Dr. Ron and the graduates of this dental school will go out sending 100 small businesses throughout the state with probably more collective investment than that on an annual basis, more than they'd like certainly, but as they continue to grow our economy. We don't think about the economic aspects of medicine that much, but it's like a economic development spread out throughout Georgia, non-exportable, and the more students that we can get educated here in Georgia, we know when they come they're not going to leave and they're going to want to practice here in Georgia as well. So along with Dr. Ron, the Chancellor, and the Board of Regents, and the Mayor here, and our legislator and our Chairman of Appropriations here, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here and celebrate on this day. The Regents deserve a huge credit for making healthcare in Georgia and health access a big part of their strategic goals, and I think you're very wise in doing that, because when we recruit economic development prospects, what are they going to want to know? What do they look about the quality of life? They look at housing, they look at education, and then they look at what? Access to health care. And this is what it's all about. So I want to thank you all for making that a priority. This is absolutely a wonderful day here locally, but truly, as Dr. Ron said, this is Georgia's Dental School, and I'm proud to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's in the military they teach us not to follow your ranking officer and speak, so I don't know. We need to be all shorter than the governor was in order to keep a proper rank. But it's great to join other members of the Senate here today. Senator Ed Tarver, of whom I know you're very, very proud, as we are in the Senate. Dentists both, Senator Lee Hawkins and Senator Greg Goggins and his wife, who are graduates of this fine institution, and former Senators Eric Johnson and Don Cheeks, who I noticed still had the best parking spot on the whole street. That was pretty impressive, I think. But thank you all for letting us be a part of this important day. I can't think of any more popular project than this dental school. It is a long time coming, and it's just a pleasure and honor to join you today. And I know we're looking for great things from this school and additional graduates for a growing state. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. I guess if we're all supposed to be shorter, Jack, I win. I'm shorter than everybody. So, thank y'all for being here. This truly is a testament to a tremendous work effort from a lot of folks. I'm not going to try to introduce all the House members who are here. I see quite a few of them, and I would probably miss one, and then that would probably cost me a vote on the next budget, and I'm not going to risk that at this time. But I do want to thank those House members who are here. This was not just one or two people coming together. This was everyone coming together, from the state government to the federal government, through the Housing Authority, through the City of Augusta, through private donations, and through charitable organizations, all coming together as a testament to the way we have to do things now. We all hear about the tough economic times we have. Well, we get through those because we're great. This is the greatest country in the world. America is still the greatest country. Don't let anyone tell you different. But we get through those tough times when we focus on our priorities, education and health care. We're meeting both of those priorities here today. And we did that because so many people came together to make it happen. This is a testament to the state of Georgia and her willingness to do what is right in the right time, regardless of what's going on around us. Thank you so much for all of you who have been a part of this. Thank you for letting me be a part of it, a small part. And I look forward to the day when we're not only breaking the ground, but when we're cutting the ribbon, and we're making sure that Georgia grows in the future because we're investing in health care. And health care, folks, is the way we will make sure that the quality of life that we're so accustomed to continues so that people will continue to move here. Thank you so much for having me here today and letting me be a small part of it. Thank you.
Well, today's the day. How do you express gratitude for the opportunity of a lifetime in 2 minutes? I think you have to begin by apologizing to all those people who will go unnamed today in this ceremony. There simply just is not enough time to thank everyone who have played a role in the long road to this great day in the history of Georgia dentistry. A day that is about better health, as you've heard from the governor, not just better oral health for the people that we serve. President Ron, Chancellor Davis, Governor Perdue, now that is a formidable trio, isn't it? Thank you for recognizing the important oral health and systemic health connection, and for supporting the training of an expanded dental workforce to meet the needs of the state. 2 years ago, very late in the evening, when a friend of mine, Dr. Senator Goggins, called me and let me know that the funding for the building was in the budget, I knew that the dream that we had for a bigger and better facility was indeed going to be a reality. Our architects, Lord Eck and Sargent and Francis Kaufman Architects, have designed a building that in 2 years you will see, and it will wow you. And BE&K, our building group, will complete that project, and they tell me by the fall of 2011, so we're going to hold them to that. And they have worked very hard with Gleeds, who is our program manager, and MCG facility staff, our IT groups, GSFIC, all to assure that this building will come in on time and hopefully under budget. I'd like to express my gratitude to my two predecessors, Dr. Judd Hickey, the founding dean of the School of Dentistry, and Dr. Dave Myers, the second dean of this great school. Mrs. Jean Hickey is here with us today, as are Dave and his wife, Ann. Thanks to all of you for your role in history, in the history of this school and in our future. I'd also like to acknowledge the steering committee under the able leadership of Dr. T. Howard Jones. Where are you, T? Back there, okay. And the collectively pledged and contributed group of $1 million that came from that steering committee. Thank you, T. Howard, for your leadership and your support. A huge thank you now goes out to Dr. Emil Fisher. While Emil is an Emory graduate, he has embraced MCG as his own. Emil's philanthropy began 40 years ago when our program was merely in its infancy. As our school's largest and perhaps our longest running benefactor, Emil continues to amaze us with his generosity. Thank you, Emil. Thanks also to the Hinman Dental Society, the Georgia Dental Association, the MCG School of Dentistry Alumni Association, and the more than 800 practicing dentists, alumni, and friends who have supported the building fund. Joining them in a very impressive show of local support is the MCG faculty themselves, who have contributed in excess of $1 million to this project. Our students have also, our hygiene and our dental students, raise your hands, guys, have all contributed to this building fund as well, which is incredible when you think about it. And finally, a very personal thank you to Dr. Carol Lefebvre, Darnell Taylor, Sean Parham. If it's possible to have three right hands, these are them. And I'm going to take a point of privilege here for 1 second. Please indulge me if I go off my script for a minute. Students, this new facility is for you. But right now, I'd like for you to join me in a very warm and hearty personal thanks to our president, Daniel W. Ron, for his leadership and his extraordinary efforts in making this day a reality. Let me end by saying that this is going to be a beautiful building, but as we've said all along, it's much more than a building. Thank you for being here and for being part of our collective efforts to ensure the health and well-being of Georgians. And now, ladies and gentlemen on the podium, grab your shovels and your hard hats. Let's break ground on the new Medical College of Georgia School of Dentistry.
Ladies and gentlemen, as our platform guests exit to my left, I simply want to acknowledge to you that we will be holding a reception just a few yards down this way in our student center. You follow the crowd, and it's a reception that you won't want to miss. As special presentations will be made there, and perhaps an unveiling will be made at that point as well. We're delighted you're here. Thank you for coming and joining us on this special day, and stay tuned for Digging of the Dirt.